Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel with another video about Phylum Porifera. Porifera means pores bearing organism. So these are the organisms which have numerous pores in their body. Their common name is sponges and they are multicellular organisms. They're mostly found sessile, attached on the coral reefs at the bottom of the oceans. So basically they are aquatic. Few species are also freshwater. Let's discuss the structure of Porifera. As you can see in the picture, they have a tubular cylindrical body and they are branched. They have numerous pores in their body known as Ostia. And there is a final opening or aperture called as Osculum, and you can see the buds, which are basically the offsprings of the sponges, and there is an internal cavity called as spongocoel. Now basically what happens, water goes inside the body of sponges by means of these small pores called ostia, and then it leaves the body by means of osculum, which is a large opening. So basically ostia are the entrance site and osculum is the exit site. Now, a very important characteristic of Porifera is the presence of an endoskeleton known as spicules. As you can see in the picture, these spicules, you can see they are pointed, sharp, they are short, and they are rod-like structures. They are used as a defense by sponges because sponges are sessile and they cannot run away from their predators. So they use spicules to defend themselves from those predators. The spicules are made up of calcium carbonate, silica, or spongin, which is basically a tough protein. Asexual reproduction occurs by means of budding. As you can see in the picture, a small bud arises at the base of the sponges. It grows, and when it attains a certain size, then it detaches itself and attaches on a new substratum. So that's how it reproduces. Asexual reproduction also occurs by means of fragmentation. Fragmentation means that the organism breaks into fragments, as you can see, and each fragment is capable to grow into an individual sponge. So regeneration, fragmentation, these are some of the methods by which Porifera reproduces. Now let's talk about sexual reproduction. So sexual reproduction occurs by the union of sperm and ova, and the sexes are they are unisexual or bisexual. Mostly are bisexual, hermaphrodite, male and female found in the same organism. So what happens, there are some special cells called as coenocytes, as you can see in the picture. They produce sperms. These are the sperms. Sperms are released, goes into the female part and fertilizes the egg. Clearly visible in this picture. Now, after union of egg and sperm, which is basically the fertilization, after fertilization, what happens? Larvae is formed. Now, this larvae is released into the water body. As you can see, the larvae is freely floating, and then after few days, it develops into a new sponge. So it's a very interesting characteristic of Porifera that in the life cycle of the Porifera, larvae is the only free floating stage, because the parent organism, the new organism, they're all sessile. Only the larvae is the free floating. It flows freely in the water. As I told you earlier, that they are sessile. They are found attached on the coral reefs. Coral reefs are basically the substratum on which sponges attaches themselves, and so they form basically a symbiotic relationship. So what happens, the algae, shrimps, crabs, they use these sponges for shelter, and as a result these organisms provide sponges some food. So basically, part of the digested food is received by the sponges. So they actually forms a symbiotic relationship. One organism giving food, other organism giving shelter. So they live happily. They're filter feeders. Basically, their mode of nutrition is that they filter feed. So what happens that water currents enters into the body of the sponges by means of Ostia. There are some specialized cells, as you can see in the picture, which are called as the collar cells. So these collar cells, what does these collar cells do? They filter the bacteria and food from these water currents. Here, present in the collar cells, trap them, and amoebocytes, these are some cells which are like amoeba, they digest and distribute the food. And also waste material or the excreted products goes outside of the body by means of Osculum. Now let's look at some of the examples of Phylum Porifera. So we have lavender rope sponge. As you can see, it has an appearance of rope. That's why it's called lavender rope sponge. Yellow tube sponge, it is just like tubular and yellow in appearance. And barrel sponge, its shape is like barrel. So these sponges are basically the food of the fishes. Fish feed on these sponges, and in order to protect themselves from the predators, these sponges, they also releases toxins in order to avoid predators. So along with spicules, toxins are also released by Porifera in order to defend themselves. So that's the end. I hope you have enjoyed watching this video and you have learnt a lot. Do like, comment and share my video with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. We'll meet with another video. Stay tuned.